Welcome to my madness, ladies and gentlemen. Quick video today. I wanted to show you guys a custom Conan the Barbarian figure that I put together. Now, I'd done a previous video on this figure a couple years ago now, so I've had him in my collection for a while, but I recently updated him in what my opinion is some very necessary ways. Previously, one of the things that was going on with this figure is I had him with brown hair to kind of mimic the Arnold Schwarzenegger looking Conan the Barbarian, and I recently decided I would much rather have a comic book look, so that was one of the things I changed. Now, before I get into just all the little stuff that I did, which honestly with this figure was not a lot. If you didn't see that last video, that's fine. I'll kind of go over how I put this guy together. So obviously, this is a masterverse He-Man figure. Now this is the, I don't remember what his name was called, to be honest, the Viking version of He-Man. And then of course the Savage He-Man head, which now obviously has been painted with black hair instead of brown as I originally had him. And he does have some slight blue highlights in his hair to give it that kind of raven-haired look. Now, as far as the chest piece goes, that's the original chest piece from the figure, which has been cut down and repainted to just kind of look like a leather strap as opposed to having the He-Man symbol on the front. The sword that I've got here, this is a He-Man sword, which has been modified and cut down and repainted to more look like the Sword of Atlantis, which I believe was that his first or second sword? I don't remember. The Sword of Atlantis, the Atlantean sword, whatever that was. So it's been painted up. We've got done the handle in kind of a brown leather look, and of course we've got that there on his back. Now, one of the things when I first got this figure, because that figure that I made this out of, that Viking He-Man, had gold all on him. You know, gold shoulder pads, these were gold, the belt was gold, you know, the knife down here was in gold. I'd originally left them the gold color. I did weather them just a little bit, but in the end, I just thought, you know what, Conan wouldn't be wearing gold. He just wouldn't. It would need to look like some roughed up steel or something like that. So that's what I did. I came back and I basically dry brushed silver on there to make it look nice and dirty, but I wanted that silver look to it. Also did the same thing with the axe there. Also did the leather wrapped handle there. Also did the same thing with the boot knife as well. Kind of this roughed up silver look to make it look like he's been through some shit. And that's basically what I wanted for this guy. This is a pretty simple, basic custom. There's not a lot to it. I did use some paint. Obviously, there's silver paint on this guy. We've got black and blue for the hair. Obviously, I did use some brown here on the straps. I did go ahead and do some weathering there and some dry brushing there on the boots to make them look a little bit more worn and a little bit more, like actual leather or cloth wraps. Give them some texture there. Did a dark color first, then came back with a lighter brown. So there was some paint here. A little black, a little silver, a little brown, things like that to get him painted up. And then of course when I was done, you'll notice this guy doesn't shine very much because I hit him with a lot of matte finish to really dull that down and kind of give it a little bit more of a premium look, all on the skin tones and everywhere that I had painted, with the exception of the silver, because I want a little bit of shine to the silver. Not a lot, but a little bit there. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty simple custom, pretty simple kit bash. 2 He-Man figures, one for the body, one for the head. Some modifications there on the strap, modifications on the sword, and then a little bit of brown, black, and silver paint, and you get a Conan figure, which in my opinion looks great. He's been on my shelf, my Thor shelf, for a couple years now as Conan the Barbarian, and he works really well. He's a 7-inch scale figure, but for a character like Conan, I think he works at that size because of the fact that when you put him next to a character like Thor, who's also, most Thor figures that Marvel Legends puts out here recently for the last few years are 7 to 7.5 inches. He actually works out really, really well, being kind of this big, beefy barbarian character, much like Thor is a big, beefy Viking character. So he actually works really well for my Marvel Legends collections for the type of character this is supposed to be. I like him quite a bit, just as he is, even though technically he is not the same scale as my Marvel Legends. So here we have him with a couple Marvel Legends. Of course, we got Captain America and we've got Colossus, and you see he's in between the two of them. Again, like many of the Thor figures that are out now, he fits right in between these two figures. He's bigger than Captain America, just like Thor is, but smaller than Colossus, again, just like Thor is, and that's exactly where I want this character. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. Pretty simple, pretty easy, pretty fun little kit bash and custom, and you too can have your very own Conan the Barbarian for your shelf. And by the way, these figures are really cheap. You can find them dirt cheap just about everywhere on the secondary market. If you want to kit bash something like this, it's very, very simple and very cheap to do. So there you go, guys. There's my updated Conan the Barbarian figure. Appreciate you guys watching. You got any questions, comments, anything like that, leave it down below. And always remember to enjoy your collection.